Balgoon August Kabashta.
What did you say?
I said bacon and cabbage. A lot of people think that fried cabbage is a southern delicacy. Well, you know what? It originated in Ireland. It is a basic Irish staple. That's where it actually originated. Bacon and cabbage was originated in Ireland. Now, there's a lot of different ways to make this delicious and savory and very customizable menu. One of the ways the Irish do this is they put their cabbage and bacon, potato, and boil it. But that's not what we're doing today. These are the basic ingredients that we're using today. We're going to just fry it up in a skillet. Half a head of cabbage, onion, 6 slices of bacon, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and a splash of apple cider vinegar. And when I have made this before, if you leave out the apple cider vinegar, you really miss that flavor. So don't ignore that. And if you've got it, you could also throw in a cube of chicken broth. So there's a lot of things that you could do with this. This is a relatively simple dish to make. This Balgoon August Kabashte. Bacon and cabbage. 1 head of cabbage, or half a head of cabbage, not a whole head, half a head of cabbage. 1 onion. I've got this much onion left in the refrigerator, so that's what I'm using. And as I said, the tablespoon of brown sugar and the apple cider vinegar. So we want to cut up our cabbage, and I'm going to maybe make it a little less than 1/2 inch thick slices, and then I'm going to trim it to make it sort of bite size. Something like that right there. That's about what I'm looking for. You can cut the cabbage to whatever thickness you like, but you don't want to get it too thin or it just gets really mushy when you fry it up. The next, I'm going to cut up the onion. This is a relatively simple recipe, not many ingredients, and it is really tasty. And I'm going to cut my onion slices maybe 1/2 inch thick. Just leave them in the rings. And there's my onion cut up. So the next step is fry it up with the bacon, the cabbage, the onion, and the other ingredients. Let's move to the stove. This recipe is so simple. We're just going to start out. We're going to fry up our bacon. Got it. I put 7 slices in there. I like my bacon. I think it's going to give a lot more flavor. I'm going to fry this up. Once it gets done, now the step 2 is we take the bacon out of the skillet, leave the grease in there, leave the fat in the skillet, and then we put in the cabbage and the onions along with the brown sugar and the apple cider vinegar, crumble up the bacon and put the bacon back in after our cabbage and onion has reached the texture that we want. So let's fry up the bacon. The next question is what goes well with fried cabbage and bacon? Well, I would say some garden fresh tomato would go real well with it. A green pepper right out of our little garden. Get the veins and the seeds out. A little bit more tomato. And that tomato is bad. But we still got some. And Lenore absolutely loves her cucumber. I'm not a cucumber fan, but I do like a cucumber that has been soaked in Italian salad, in Italian dressing. My bacon has browned up nicely. I'm going to transfer it to this bowl here, and when it cools off, I'm going to crumble it up. So I need to get this out of the skillet. The next step, the next question, what do I do with all this grease off the bacon that's in the skillet? You leave it in the skillet. So I'm going to pour in my onions and cabbage. I'm going to add my brown sugar, a dash of apple cider vinegar. That's about a dash. I'm going to stir it around, mix up some of that vinegar, get some of that bacon grease on my cabbage and my onion. Looking pretty good. Put that piece of onion back in there. And I'm going to let it cook slowly. And if you need to add salt or pepper, you can do that after you get it plated. And in the meantime, I'm also going to cover this and let it fry up kind of slow like. Oh, and what else goes really well with this fried cabbage with the bacon? You could size it up or side it up with mashed potatoes, grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, rice, cornbread, which we're having, or biscuits, sauteed mushrooms, coleslaw, brats. I'd never thought about putting brats as a side for this, but teriyaki pork chops, garlic bread. I don't know so much about that. I'm going to stick with the cornbread, the green beans, potato cakes, or a tomato and cucumber salad. So these are some of the items that were listed that side well with the fried cabbage. As your cabbage and onion is frying up, you need to keep a close watch on it to make sure that what's on the bottom doesn't scorch. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm going to do a taste test to see what I need to add. I need to add a little more brown sugar. There we go. Stir it all up in there. I've crumbled up my bacon, as you can see already, but I'm not going to put it in just yet. The cabbage is still a little bit firm, so I'm going to cover it back up and can let it continue to fry. Okay, it is time to put my bacon in, get all those flavors, and I'm going to tell you what, for me, that does not look like near enough bacon, but it's going to add some really nice flavor to it. And you say, well, what's the cook time? How long do I let this fry? You let it fry until it reaches the texture that you like. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you what a fried bacon and fried cabbage meal looks like right here. Was an Irish meal of bacon and fried cabbage. That is pretty darn tasty. Now, the side items that go with it today, we have some green pepper, we have some tomato, leftover green beans, corn, and Lenore's famous cornbread. Absolutely. So don't forget to hit that subscribe and that like button. Enjoy this recipe that's an Irish bacon and fried cabbage. See you down the road.